If you ever want to watch someone mess up, spend time with your kids. Children make mistakes over and over again. It's part of being a child. They don't know how to do everything you do. When we watch our kids make mistakes, biting your tongue is not always easy. So naturally, we want to correct them and tell them how to do things the right way. However, what's better for them is a lesson that we all need to relearn occasionally. Imperfection doesn't seem like a goal to strive for, but it is something to embrace. So here are a handful of things to remember about your gloriously imperfect kids. Kids start right from square one, knowing absolutely nothing at all. When children are born, they don't know how to hold their heads or eat correctly. They must be shown, sometimes many times, the most basic of things. It's part of the process of growing up. We need to remember this as we watch them make mistakes. How do you react when you see your child make a mistake? If you can use these moments as a learning experience, you come out ahead of the game. But, unfortunately, when we put them down or blame them for their mistakes, they get to the point where they're afraid to make them. This is the beginning of perfectionism and a long life of feeling like they will never measure up. Kids can't be expected to follow the map you laid out for their lives, especially if you've never taken the time to give them a solid direction of where you wish them to go. Most mistakes come from misunderstandings, a lack of knowledge, or questions about moral judgments. It's no wonder they mess up. However, they'll do much better if you can accept them for who they are and can overlook their imperfections long enough to share the lessons they can learn from the experience while you teach them where to go from there. The most important thing on this list is remembering how unimportant all these little mistakes are. Laugh with your child and show them the joy of making mistakes. Let them be silly, wondrous, eccentric, and imperfect. Enjoy them for who they are, and they will never wonder if they were ever good enough to be loved by you. Remember, it's impossible to be perfect. So let's not set up our kids for failure by expecting it from them under any circumstances. Their childhood years are too short for that kind of nonsense. Wouldn't you rather embrace them for who they are instead? Here are some tips to remember from the 4 C's framework. Ask yourself what your expectations are for your child. What do you hope for them? Are your present expectations developmentally appropriate? Then, write down your family vision and create a mission statement that will impact your parenting choices. And most of all, appreciate the child you have been blessed with versus the child you wish you had. As your child develops physically, mentally, and emotionally, acknowledge the good you see in them. This is not praise, but rather encouragement. For example, when you see them try something new several times, recognize their virtues of persistence, perseverance, or determination and acknowledge it verbally. When they make mistakes, what virtue do you see them displaying, possibly even in an overdeveloped way? Communicate in a way to guide and correct them based on virtues. When a child is learning to walk and takes a tumble, we don't tell them to get up, you little dummy. No, we encourage them and show appreciation for their efforts. Kids have to practice skills to improve them, whether those skills are physical, mental, or emotional. They also learn from our consistent example. So if we want our children to be resilient when they make mistakes, we must also show them how we practice that. As children get older, other influences will influence their beliefs and how they conduct themselves. Therefore, it is critical to surround them, to the best of our ability, with those that practice what we value and use examples in our community of values that match ours. Kids are like an acorn, which has the potential to become a towering oak. Children also have the full potential to be their best unique selves. What a child becomes results from 4 things: nature, nurture, opportunity, and effort. Nature is out of our control. Nurturance is how a child is educated and how their gifts are recognized and supported. The opportunities they have give them the possibility of becoming who they truly are. Ultimately, the effort is a child's responsibility. Perfection is the process of bringing our gifts of character to fruition. So, for now, use clarity, communication, consistency, and community to bring out the best in yourself and your children, while celebrating your gloriously imperfect children. Being a parent is tough, but you don't have to do it alone. Our weekly newsletter can help. You'll receive articles with parenting, nurturing relationships, and self-care tips. Each month, we'll also focus on a different virtue to inspire positive habits and personal growth. Sign up now and join our community of parents who are dedicated to bringing out the best in themselves and their children.